Season 1 through 3 of SpongeBob gotta be in the god tier category of cartoons, especially when it comes to the place at table. And I'm deciding which one could win in the median these reality shows. Just cause they would do good on Big Brother don't mean they do on good until drama or anything like that. So out of these 18 contestants, which one would do theoretically the best in a median sense of all of them? I'm gonna try not to be biased. I'm just looking at it from a reality show and their personality perspective. Comment down the top 3 in your opinion who you think will make it to the end. Leave a like, subscribe, and I heavily suggest you read the title cards in the beginning if you haven't. Alright, so for the bottom 4, this is basically deciding who would get blipped or clipped almost immediately. Meaning they're not even in low or pre-merge, they ain't even in merge. They're getting like one of the first characters out, so much character development and screen time, and you know why. It's because they're about to get out. Now, I'm just gonna put a couple people here who I immediately think would not fumble that bad or would find their footing immediately. All right, bam, half the cast immediately up there. And just because these are like in the bottom half right now mean they don't have a chance to win. They could definitely win. It's just in the beginning, it's a little bit more difficult. And for those with strength, especially in the total drama and survivor sense, they are usually given a little bit more leeway even if they have attitude, because they help the team in a way where they can win challenges and don't even have to think about eliminating someone. Gary and Plankton obviously have their disadvantages, one because of a language barrier and they're kind of slow, and Plankton, actually, you know what, he is a great game talker. So I'm actually willing to say, even if someone was like, you know, we should get rid of Plankton because he's, you know, not that helpful, he's extremely smart, which I think he can maybe prove off in the beginning. And like I said, he has the social game of someone who needs to be in reality. Pearl, you know what, you're a cheerleader. I think, you know, now that I think about it, she has the cheerleader outfit. She has, I think, even the palm fronds, what are they called? She hangs out with the cheerleader. I ain't never seen her go to one cheerleading class. The most I've ever seen her do is be a big ass rectangle in the parade. But you know what, go ahead. These two have a little bit of an elderly disadvantage, which would do good in Big Brother, but not the other two. Karen is extremely smart, but at the same time, she has limited mobility, I believe, and I think she has to be plugged in or at least charged. Dutchie, you a whack dude, and I feel like everyone would eventually get tired of you trying to spook everyone. And Bubble Bass, there's no reason, bro. You already eliminated. You know what? Mermaid Man is always screaming, falling asleep. I feel like that would immediately get annoying. Hell no, he out of here. Gary, I know this might sound a little bit whack to say, and I love my man Gary, but at the end of the day, if their team loses and they're discussing who to vote out, there's gonna be at least one, if not the entire team, talking about, hey, how about the fucking snail? Because not only, yeah, Gary's nice, they don't know that though. They can't understand him, and he might be like smart, but once again, they don't know that, and they usually don't do brain challenges in the beginning. But he's also probably leaving a slimy mess everywhere, which would get hella annoying in Survivor and Total Drama, but it would become unbearable in the Big Brother house. Because what is Gary gonna do? Pick up a mop and clean it up? He can't. Someone's gonna be like, Gary, yo, I just stepped in your slimy ass shit. That shit was gross, bro. We have people complaining about what you gonna do, and he's gonna be like, meow. Like, that ain't gonna help anything. Mrs. Puff, Barnacle Boy. Actually, I don't know, because it's honestly, it's between Barnacle Boy and Dutchman. I gotta be honest with you. And just by the smallest of hairs, I'm gonna say that Barnacle Boy barely passes by onto the low 4. But personality-wise and challenge-wise, I just don't see him making it past there. Like, he can't. Maybe if it was Big Brother, but he doesn't even have the personality for that. However, there are gonna be some people making it to merge. Matter of fact, everyone here but 3, I think, could probably do it. All right, let me explain my reasoning for these 5. The reason that SpongeBob would at least make it to merge is because he's decent in challenges. He might be a little annoying to some, but not to the point where they immediately want to vote him out. Maybe deeper into the game, but not right now. And even when he goes to merge, he isn't exactly the biggest threat at all. Mr. Krabs, once again, he has his advantages and disadvantages. He is really strong, but only in a physical physical sense, not an endurance sense. He's not really that smart, and he's kind of greedy, and I feel like he's the kind of personality where people would be like, let's keep him for now because he's for sure gonna get out later. Sandy and Larry, thankfully for both of them, not only are they super strong and smart in her case, but the reason they're not getting clipped before merge like a lot of strong people would is because they're nice. They're genuinely like charismatic and nice. Now, Man Ray, he is a challenge beast. I don't know how much longer he's gonna last, but I definitely don't see a reason why he would get out, especially due to the fact he would play the game. Some people here have a disadvantage just because they're like good at the game, maybe, doesn't mean they're playing it. And I feel like in a game where people go there on purpose to play it, seeing someone there just trying to ride the wave might not be the best for them. Like Patrick, Squidward, Mrs. Puff, Karen. Squidward doesn't really care about this game, especially this early on when the money isn't close enough to taste it. The only thing that really driving Squidward is the money, and I don't know if he has that like intuition to like go and seek alliances and friendships. Squilliam, he's kind of pompous. I think during the low point is when people who are already rich get targeted and then voted out. Rich people just don't do that well unless they keep it hidden, where his ego won't let him keep it hidden. Even if he tries, he'll be like, you know, Angela will be like, ooh, I love tiramisu, and then John over there will be like, I like my pork chop, and then Squilliam will be like, ooh, I like my creme de la foam asparagus with filet mignon, wagyu A5 with peppercorn and blue like, bitch, we already know where you coming from. Get your ass out of here. Where Karen will probably be useful in the beginning, I don't see her getting the relationship she need in order to progress, especially with how people feel about AI right now. I actually should have taken that into consideration in the beginning, but that's okay. Patchy, honestly, the biggest thing you got going for you is you're normal. I mean, except for the little pirate getup, but I feel like you would be dressed normal and you'd be okay, except maybe with an eye patch, which you probably need. But I don't think he needs that because he lifts it up all the time to see normally. I'm pretty sure it's just for like the be able to see better in the dark kind of effect, which could help him in challenges if they let him keep it on, which they should. All right, so who's gonna get clipped right before merge? I'm sorry, Patrick, but I feel like at some point during this game, you are one of those contestants who will make them lose when they're about to win. You know, like Ezekiel, like getting rid of the stick kind of thing. And when you do moves like that, it's basically 100% irreversible. You just got yourself out because of that, and it's RIP. All right, now these are people when merge starts, they instantly get targeted. We have to get them out. We can't have them in the end game. It's going to be a bad time for all of us if they're still there. And this is really, if villains try and have that like good perspective of reality TV, they could actually excel during this period. And this is also the point where super nice characters can get potentially targeted, especially if they have an alliance that they are like super close with. Larry, unfortunately for you, I think you are super charismatic, but due to your immense and obvious strength and your good personality, you are for sure one of the ones getting clipped immediately. Man Ray, not only are you super strong, but you are kind of evil, and I think if you win enough challenges, especially up to this point, you're for sure getting clapped at. Now Sandy, I think she would do so well that even if people did target her, she would be able to make it past the merge stage. And I feel like she does have like a little bit of a posse that could be behind her. Mrs. Puff, just cause you aren't a challenge threat immensely, I do think you would progress. And I feel like if people know she's a teacher, that'd be another thing where immediately they're like, we can't let her win, but at the same time, we can't let her do horrible because she's a great person. She don't deserve that. SpongeBob, you just too annoying. And I realized by doing that, I just eliminated these two, but that makes sense, you know, like I don't see anyone progressively trying to get her forward. And SpongeBob, you are loud and you are proud. Is that what they call it? Which means we have to figure out of these 6, which 3 are the most likely to win and then move on, where I have to decide which game they would most likely win. Hey, being top 3 is a great and amazing thing. Plankton, during this point, I don't think you could win the challenges you need to save you. Maybe one if it's like a smart thing or maybe a memory thing, but you got one eye, and I also feel like that probably has to be a little bit of a detriment. Patchy, you kind of have the same problem. You are for sure one of those final 6 where when you're looking at it, you're like, oh yeah, he's for sure getting out next, and he probably does. But Patchy and OG, he deserved to be in the top 3. Squidward, you have literally everything going for you once you make it at the merge point, where there's no reason to really target you because you have the attitude where people will just ignore you until it's too late. And I think he could even win like one challenge or maybe even two if he tried, but that's probably the reason why they're keeping him. He's not trying, and he wins by doing nothing Luigi. All right, so basically, you know, Mrs. Puff, I wanted you to win so bad, but the farther you get and the smaller the cast is, the more you are going to be a huge target in a social sense to win, because you will get the vote. I don't know who would have to be next to you in order for them to win, but you are the clear ideal candidate to win a reality show, and I would love that, but I don't think it would happen. Mr. Krabs never took his eye off the money, and he's winning one of these, and honestly, I think Mr. Krabs, it's either Survivor or Total Drama, and I'm for sure leaning for Total Drama. If you see him in a cast with a bunch of other goofy people and he makes his way like he does, I think Total Drama is the exact format for Mr. Krabs to win, and he's gonna take that money. Sandy, you guys already guessed it, she wins Survivor, and Squidward is all about that Big Brother game. So these are the most likely three, which feels a little bit odd because I usually never want to do main characters like all of them. I would like if there was a side character, because just because they're a side character don't mean they can't win. Side characters be on their peak all the time, but it's just a coincidence that the side characters here are a side character for a reason. They're usually not active enough to get in the mix of the episode, or they're too evil where they're saved for evil episode. But once again, this is only my opinion. Please comment down who you guys think would make it to the final three. Comment down if you want me to do any other shows, cartoons, animes, whatever. And I dare every single one of you, yes you, to have a good day. Subscribe to my gaming channel, Leaf Lord.